Hi everyone, I am really glad to be back here with a new exercise video this week. I know it's been a while that I haven't made new videos, and to be honest, I've been just really busy updating my programs. The back pain bootcamp was just fully updated, and I've been working with clients and just updating the blog posts. I have about 120 blog posts, so I was going back to each and every one of them and just updating them, making sure the information there is still applicable. And I do think that that's important. And I want to make sure that all of my blog posts are updated and the information there is useful and valuable. And it's just something I do every year. But this time I have a new video very specific to upper back pain, neck pain, as well as shoulder pain. So anything, from here, the cervical spine, all the way to the thoracic spine. So mid-back all the way to your neck. So, and it's very specific to the upper cross syndrome, or what we know as rounded shoulder, forward head posture. So if you sit on your desk all day, or you have a desk job, or even if you work from home, or you find yourself typing for hours, so it's very likely that you will develop this rounded shoulder posture. It happens over time. It's not like it's going to happen in a month or two, but it's that repetitive movement pattern that you do every day. Then over time you will start to develop this posture, and it may even feel like these muscles are locked. Like even if you try to pull back and restore posture, it just feels like you can't. So because of this chronic tightness, the body has to adjust now. So what you'll see is people with this the rounded shoulder posture, and then their head will start traveling forward, especially if you're always like trying to read things off of the screen. Sometimes I do that, but I catch myself. So if you're always like trying to read articles and the chair is like way back and you're trying to read, then it's like rounded shoulders, forward head. And because the body is connected, the pelvic girdle will actually, there's a reflex that happens. So when your head is forward, the body needs to adjust its center of gravity, so it will anteriorly rotate, and then you end up with this forward head, rounded shoulder posture, and then a pelvic tilt. So sometimes you see people that, sometimes if the glutes are so weak, the opposite will happen, and you get this rounded back, just no glutes, really weak glutes, and just this flexed posture. Now here's the good news: you can fix this. This isn't like a permanent thing, but it needs to be kind of a consistent daily thing, because you can't just be mindless about these things and just sit on your desk and not check in with yourself and how you're sitting and just expect like a few exercises a day to fix that. When you're sitting, you do have to mindfully try to sit straight, adjust your work environment for your body's need, not the other way around. So your body needs to be moving. We're not designed to sit like this for hours, so you have to kind of make some changes and make adjustments. So the main thing that you want to be doing to fix this imbalance is that you want to release these front muscles. You can do that through massage, just using a massage ball against the wall to really get deep into those muscles and release that tightness. But the most important part is not just releasing, but you also have to strengthen the back postural muscles that will help retract your back and keep it in that position. These exercises will target those muscles. It's very important that you do them right. So take your time and always start with very light weights. I only have 4-pound dumbbells available here at home, but if you can get lighter, just go for it. Like if I had anything lighter than that, I would do that. Usually I use 3-pound dumbbells to do this drill or routine. If you don't have anything, that's fine. You can just do it body weight. You will see that they will be still challenging even when you're not using any weights. Alright, so I will be using a stability ball for this exercise, but you don't need it. You can just do it on the floor. I just love to add this because it really challenges your core, so you're kind of doing two things at once. But if you do have a stability ball, definitely use it. So I like to also do this exercise against the wall just so that I can anchor my feet and I feel stable. So again, I'm using 4-pound dumbbells, but I actually prefer to go lighter than this. So 2 to 3 pound dumbbells works perfectly for this exercise. So it's important to get really stable here. You don't want to be flexing your knees, so keep your legs straight, keep your glutes tight, keep your core engaged, and your cervical spine or your neck should not be extending like this. You don't want to be, reaching up. So try to maintain a stable, neutral spine. And again, just making sure that your knees are not flexed, everything is aligned. I'm just checking myself here in the video. It's actually a good idea to just film yourself so that you can see how you're holding yourself through this exercise. So again, this is just a drill. I'm going to be showing you a few different exercises, and you can just choose one or two to start with. When you start to exercise, you don't want to be shrugging your shoulders. I don't want you to be using your upper trapezius here or even your neck muscles to do this exercise. So keep everything down. Our focus is the mid-back. So think of yourself as like holding everything down. And keep your core engaged, because if you don't, you're going to start feeling your lower back. That means that you're not using your stabilizers to stabilize you, which are your glutes and your core. So keep those tight, because you don't want to be feeling anything in your lower back. So from here, we are going to be kind of creating like a Y. So, and down. This exercise is challenging even without any weights. So you're going to be creating a Y, but you want to keep your shoulders down. And as you go up, you want to externally rotate your hands down. If your shoulders are like locked in that rounded position, it may be really tough to get your hands up, because all of this area here is locked. Like, you may not even be able to externally rotate, but just keep practicing and keep your shoulders down. So if you're compensating, you're going to notice that, for example, you're going to be shrugging your shoulders to get your upper trapezius to help you, but don't do that. You want to make sure everything is nice and down. And if you notice yourself do that, just drop the weight and start with your body weight. So the second position or exercise will be the same thing, but we will be, instead of a Y, we're going to be doing a T. So a T position, so like creating the letter T. And you want to go from here. You can use weights here because it's a little easier. And again, shoulders down. Again, you want to make sure everything is down so that you focus on the middle trapezius rhomboids here. So we're focusing on that mid-back. And the last position will be to go into the cobra by going down. And you can do it body weight or using the weights. So starting position here. Again, make sure shoulders are down, contracting the lower back. So if you want to turn this into like a drill, you can go Y, T, and cobra. Just make sure that your shoulders are down, but that's how you usually want to do it. So you go Y, back down, T, back down, and then cobra. Or you can also go Y, T, cobra, which is actually what I like doing. So you go Y, shoulders down, T, and then cobra. But if you're starting from the floor, you are going to be starting with your arms extended, and then you are going to go into that Y, and then into that T, and then the cobra. So the second drill that I want to show you is something to help you correct specifically just the flexion of the shoulders. And we want to go into that external rotation, and again, you're going to be using very light weights, 2 to 3 pounds is usually good. Or you could also grab like a bar or like a band, something that you could just hold on to like this and just create some resistance. But I'm just going to be using my dumbbells. So what we want to do is, again, make sure everything is nice and stable. From here, we are going to pull the weights and then externally rotate our shoulders and press down, again, starting position. It's very important to keep your glutes tight, because as you're pressing, it's putting a lot of pressure on your lower back. So again, if you want to just start with your own body weight or we're just using a band, that would be a great start. So again, pressing, external rotation, press, down, and going back. It's a very challenging exercise. With all of these exercises, activation, rehab, all of this stuff, keep the weights really light. This is not the time to show off or, try to challenge yourself. You want to keep the weights as light as possible, because your goal is not to build muscle here, it's just to activate and reintegrate the muscles. It's a totally different goal than actually building muscle. So the last exercise I want to share with you is again kind of a different version of the ones that I showed you earlier, which is getting to that cobra, but using one arm at a time. So we're gonna start from here, and then keeping your shoulder down, and then just contracting the back muscles from here. You're gonna start here, and then you are going to externally rotate your arm as you go into that one hand cobra, and then back. When you go to that second part, contracts the mid back muscles there, just so that you can feel them, and then slowly go back into starting position. You don't want to rush this exercise. You don't want to rush any activation exercise. And the other side. Again, making sure your shoulders are down. If you also feel like your pelvis is anteriorly rotated, make sure you release them by doing some psoas release. I have a video for that I will also link. But just make sure that you maintain, don't just ignore your body and ignore your posture. And if you do notice that you've developed those postures, know that happened over time. It didn't just, you're not born like that. That's something that you actually develop over time through just repetitive movements, repetitive postures that you can fix and you have complete control of. And remember that you have to maintain your body. You can't just do this once and forget about it. You have to do it every day, especially if your job is to sit for hours. And I know that you have to do your job, but just make sure that you're maintaining. It's like a car, right? Like you have to change your oil, have to keep it maintained too, so that it runs well. And that's how our bodies are. It's just that because you have to do it every day so that it keeps running properly and you don't run into problems and muscular imbalances and health issues. So I hope this was helpful. I have another video coming up soon. So let me know again if you have any questions. I will post all of the links of the other videos linked to this below. I'll see you guys next time.